Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of DayZ. You'll remember where we left off last time with me gunning down some unexpected guests to my location whilst I was looking at the delightful little sign. And yeah, so my plan now is to try and move on to somewhere new, somewhere different. I've attracted quite a bit of attention in this location, so I'm looking to try and cut through the tree line a bit and cut across the countryside and go somewhere different. So a few of the comments I got in the last video was that you guys actually enjoy the runs through the forest and such, and I can tell you this video clocks in at over an hour in length, and there's plenty of running through forests, so I hope you like them, because here they come. So at the moment my sort of plan is to try and get to somewhere called Staroy, I think. Don't know how to pronounce it. And I have a vain hope that I might come across some sort of a vehicle or something to really try and make my journey north a little bit easier. So we'll see how that turns out. And this episode, I gotta say, goes quite different in the long run. Pardon the pun. So at the moment I believe I'm heading east, and I'm thankful that it's downhill, which means I can run. I'm not too bothered about survivors at this point, but the sun glaring down does make it difficult for me to see where any other potential survivors might be, like now for example. But then again, you know, the risk is so minimal, it's definitely nothing that I need to concern myself with. So I was hoping as I got to sort of the bottom that I'd come across a road. And looking to the right there, you can see a dam. I've seen this dam before, and let me see if I can check the name for you guys. It's called Topolka Dam, and I know there's a road near there, and that road does head north. So I've got myself a landmark, which has helped me understand where I am and the best course of action going forwards. Now this looks like a really, really long road, you know, just draped over this sort of cliffside here. And there's a big mountain up there. Not really wanting to go to the top of that mountain. The power line, as you can see there, looked a bit shaky, but it does continue on. So I'm hoping I might be able to see a clearing where this power line cuts through forestry or something like that, to maybe, instead of following the road, just bring me to a separate location via a run through the forest, which in my experience has always been a far less risky approach. So whilst we run through this forest, some other news. So what I've normally been doing is I've been trying to encode the videos overnight and then upload them in the morning. And I've actually been doing all my recording onto a secondary hard disk, which was only 250 gigabytes in size, which means with DayZ I've only been able to record about an hour and a half of footage in one sitting. And I found myself in a situation a few times where I would have wanted to continue, but had to stop, you know, and then need to edit the footage, put it together, and then once it's all done, I can, you know, do another playthrough. So I went out and invested in a new 2 terabyte hard drive, so that should no longer be an issue. Gives me a lot more flexibility, and I think in terms of videos for the future, it's going to be a really good thing. You know, could do some other commentary on other games as well. That might be interesting. So as you can see here, I found the clearing for the power lines. So what I want to do now is I want to go up this little slope and move on following those power lines until I perhaps find something more interesting. I also found out that one of the reasons that we hadn't come across vehicles until recently was that they had been disabled. I'm not sure for how long or since when, but vehicles were disabled, and this was done on the developer side of things because of lag issues. But I believe that they have now been re-enabled, although I don't think helicopters and such are back in just yet. So that explains a small part in why we've not come across any knackered cars or anything like that, and makes me feel less guilty about not picking up that main rotor assembly in a previous episode. So you can see up ahead the incline increases a bit, so I'm not too sure what lies beyond that. Hopefully some signs of life. So yeah, I would definitely be interested with you guys if there's any other games that you're interested in at the moment you think might be good to do commentaries for. I'm intending to do some looks at the Guild Wars 2 event, the beta weekend event coming this weekend, so that should be interesting. So this server is also running the latest beta version, so again, they've got the global chat, like the side chat that you've seen in the earlier episodes, disabled. So the chat available is only the side channel based chat, which is still to my liking. You can see there you got a glimpse of the outfit that I picked up previously. So I'm just trying to take a quick look around, see if there's any signs of maybe some animals or hunting boxes and such. And you know, when you run for so long, and I mean, we haven't really got into the meat of the journey, I guess, but when you run alone for so long in the forest and you've got this freaky ambient music in the background, you do get a little bit paranoid. And you know, you hear your guy panting and you're running out of breath and your gun's shaking all over the place, and you see things in the corner like now that somebody has been killed. It just sort of reminds you that you are alone, and if you run into somebody, anything could happen. So you I often feel the need to stop, take a look around, wait until I catch my breath, and then try and push on. I am confident I'm not the only survivor that decides to head on through the forestry as opposed to running along the main roads where possible. It's just very risky when you run in the road. So I'm approaching the crest of the hill now, and I should get an indication of what journey lies ahead. So on the right hand side you can see the beginnings of some buildings, not too clear what it is, and just to the right there, although it doesn't look like it at the time, I noticed like a petrol station signpost. It's just out of my vision now, but I'm also taking a look over the hill. There's the bigger part of the city, so things have worked out well for me. So I'm heading on over to the petrol station now. My fingers crossed that there'll be a car there. Trying to take it slow and steady. I don't know who's in town. And my theory at this point is that the further inland I go and the further north I go, the chances are that the survivors I will run into will be less friendly and better equipped. Simply because, you know, people that move inland are probably slightly more experienced players because they've not just spawned in the coast and are trying to find their footing, and that they know to move north. And you know, they've been alive for longer, come through many towns like this, and have had a far better chance of picking up good weaponry. But the signs and the coasts so far are that this town is very, very quiet. I haven't really even noticed any zombies yet. Speak of the devil, There they are. So, learning my lesson from the previous town, I'm just doing my absolute best to be as quiet as possible and not get attention. And then it's almost as if by magic, this guy pops out around the corner of the building I want to go into, and there's a guy in the road, but at least he's going to the other side of the road. So I'm trying to think about, can I just shoot this guy in the head now and quietly with a Makarov? So I'm trying to wait until his head pops in and I miss. So here he comes, in his business suit. So he's got some baked beans. No, actually no, he has shotgun slugs for my Winchester. Another businessman coming over. Late for the meeting. So yeah, it does pay to kill zombies and check them for loot. It's like this town must have been a conference center or something, because there's a heck of a lot of zombies in suits around here. But yes, this zombie has shotgun shells for my shotgun. I mean, that's a pretty good turnout from a zombie. So take note, folks. Don't just kill zombies and leave them be. If it's not too risky, go up there and see what they've got on them, because they could have shotgun shells. And I mean, shotgun shells is the best loot that I've found on a zombie to date. So who knows, maybe one day a zombie will have a main rotor assembly for a helicopter. You never know. Just tucked away in his back pocket. So I decide I can do without the morphine injector, I think. No, I had 2 water bottles, so I ditch one and take the morphine. So it doesn't look like any other zombies are coming. This guy's got a road flare on him. Nothing else. Go over to the zombie that came from behind. Again, taking a peek over the hill and keeping one eye on the road where I can, in case somebody comes along. Oh, here comes a zombie. This guy has a Makarov mag. Great. Nothing else. Now this guy, I'm thinking he hasn't seen me, so I should just be able to slowly, sneak away from him. And finally get to the gas station that I've been wanting to get to for a couple of minutes now. So here's a zombie to the left, take a look, but can't see him. So what do we have in here, if anything? Windscreen, looks like, from Autoglass. Other windscreen providers are available. Ho ho. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything else in here. But I get concerned because I hear zombies all around me, and I don't know, is it better to stay in here for a little bit and maybe they'll pass and then I can come out when it's safe? I don't want to come out the doorway and be like face to face with some zombies, so I'm just trying to think about, I'm trying to listen, just trying to carefully listen and in my head map out where it sounds like they are around this building, just so that I can make the most, the smart decision about when to come out and which way to go when I do. So I'm hearing them over the left, so I'm going to try and slowly walk around the right. Just checking to see if there's one behind. Yep, there's one over there. Looks like he's sort of kind of coming this way, but I know there was some on the left as well, so I'm in a precarious position where I'm trying to advance without attracting attention by sort of sandwiching myself perfectly between 2 zombies and hoping the distance will keep me safe, which it appears to have for now. But yeah, it's almost like they're triangulating on my position and slowly casually, you know, making their way over, but I seem to have avoided detection for now. So I can see some sort of religious building over there. I've not really found one that you can go into yet. I think maybe the bigger church in Electro it is possible to go inside, albeit through a different entrance than the one that Chris and I were having a shootout in front of. So Mr. Crawley over there, he sounds like he's noticed me and he's hungry and he's coming at me, albeit very slowly. So I'm just trying to put a little bit of distance between us both so that I can really test if he's just crawling in this general direction or if he's specifically crawling after me. I really don't want to have to shoot. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking at this point it seems like he wants to come after me. So I'm just trying to, you know, my view at the moment is I'm faster than him, so if I sprint a little bit, maybe he'll lose interest. So I'm just trying to put some distance, some good distance quickly, and hope that I don't, and it was too late. That little sprint has cost me dearly. Another zombie on the way, hiya. Nice hat. So he's down. So whenever I think I've attracted some zombies, I do my best to try and get myself away from the main area where they're sort of patrolling, just so that when the gunfire does start, I'm dealing with what I've already spawned, already attracted alone, and hopefully I don't really make the situation any worse by using the gunfire. Which, that approach, for this, you know, in this instance, seems to have worked. So, nice big barn over there. I'm feeling hopeful that there will be some loot there for me to check out. You know, I, as far as I'm concerned, the area around the field that I believe zombies would hear me in seemed clear, so I thought it would be safe to just run on over. However, that was a miscalculation on my part, as two more zombies come. So again, using the Makarov and using the information that I gathered in the first episode, 3 bullets should do the trick if they're on target. So couldn't see anything immediately useful on those zombies, and very keen to get inside the building now. So this guy I'm kind of anticipating is already coming for me, so I just go ahead and try and take him out at a distance. He finally goes down. So again, just doing my due diligence and taking a little peek at him to see if he had any items. Didn't seem so. Just trying to look at that building in the distance there to see if there, it looks like it's one that's explorable, but from appearance, memory serves that the buildings that look like that don't seem to be something you can go inside at this time. On the subject of buildings that you can go inside, they do seem to be quite consistently applied, so generally speaking, the appearance of a building, if you see it and you can go in it, other buildings that look like that in the future, in my experience, are always explorable. It almost seems like it's a set thing that if it's building A and you see it in towns 1, 2 and 3, building type A will always be one that you can go in, and will probably share the same family of loot as well, so you can, I imagine you can reasonably expect similar types of items. In ArmA 3, I believe all buildings will be explorable, so that's cool. So I see some wood down there, but you know, no matches, I'm not really interested. So it looks like we've got some ammo here, and a good few drinks as well. I'm not dying of thirst, but I could definitely drink at this point, so it's worthwhile. And as there's some sardines there as well, so I'm going to have a munch on some food and pick up the can of sardines. So picking up an extra morphine, so I've now got 2 morphine injections. I've got an awful lot of Makarov ammo, so I'm kind of thinking maybe it's not worth trying to somehow squeeze that extra mag in. I've already got 7 clips. Not too sure why I didn't drink that soda there, honestly. In hindsight, that would have been the smart thing to do. So the barn, well, the doors on this building on the right and it looks like on the left are both open, so definitely going to check them out. Looks like there's absolutely nothing in here though. So the open icon is appearing on the interior door, so I thought I'd just try it, but it seems like the radius where I'd open up this door I'm just walking through now is just quite big. So zombie crawling over. Really don't want to have to shoot him. So I'm like, okay, let's just go in here, close the doors, and see if the bug where they just sort of mash their face through the door is now fixed. And it appears that it is. He crawled up to the door and opened it, which made me chuckle at the time. You know, sort of just decides to open the door and carry on crawling in. Which you know, it's better than him mashing his face at the door and just clipping through. But again, you know, there's not real loot in these 2 little buildings that I found, which is disappointing. But really, at this point, I kind of feel like the only thing that I really need is a map, maybe a watch. A different kind of weapon would be cool, but this seems so risky these days, ever since the whole AK incident. You know, so I will always think twice about picking up another weapon. Maybe if I come across like an M16 and the full Monty of ammo, and I had a more effective pistol, I'd maybe go for the M16. You know, I'm also excited to try and find some vehicles. So, some goodies. Trying to see if I can close that door, but it doesn't look like I can. But no, I can. It's just a bit of a weird one. So, checking this pile of loot. So we've got some rounds for the revolver. Shame, because I don't have the revolver. Man, I don't know how lucky I was in episode 1. Now that I've been playing longer, the fact that I came across a nice revolver, a Winchester, the Czech backpack, which has twice as many slots as the backpack I have now, all on that one guy, all relatively soon into my adventure, was just, I was very, very lucky, and it is such a shame that I've lost that. But that's what makes DayZ interesting. That, you know, what is it that they say? The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and you definitely feel that fall when you die after collecting some very nice loot. So another sprinting zombie. Looks exactly like the other zombie, but with a different hat. That's he's got a bandage on him. Here comes his twin brother with a different pair of clothes on. Definitely something that I would like to see in DayZ is a bit more variety in the zombies. You know, some female zombies thrown in there. You know, just because it seems a bit strange that every undead in the game is a man. I have not read the supposed sort of story background to how we've come to this situation where we are survivors in a continent full of zombies. So for all I know, it could say that it killed all the women. I somehow doubt it, but hey, maybe that's possible. So I've been running around in this town for quite some time now, and I'm kind of thinking like, where am I? You know, like, am I in the north side, the south side? I've lost track a bit of where I am. So I'm just trying to move along, see if I can find any other explorable buildings. That one looks like it's something I can go inside. Great. Just keeping my eye on the zombies over there. So it looks like there's a few things in here. I want to make this as secure as possible. Close up the doors. Makes me feel better if nothing else. So I can hear a zombie out there. I'm kind of like, okay, if I'm backed into a corner, I'm as safe as possible. What do we have on the floor? So we have a 12 gauge shotgun slug, but that's no good for the shotgun that I have. So just opening the door, taking a peek out, thinking about my next move. I keep, you know, I'm thinking like, can I hear a zombie behind me? Just trying to very carefully move around. You know, and I think it's clear. Run a bit. Hang on a minute. Is it clear? Yep, it seems clear. Carry on running. So I can see some buildings over there. So I think let's run over in that direction. And a nice big barn. They generally speaking are always useful. So I can see a zombie through the foliage. He looks like he's hopping in a different direction. Maybe not interested in me. Just checking over my shoulder. Haven't seen any survivors yet. Okay, he seems to have changed direction a bit. Just trying to think, you know, can I get around him? Don't want to shoot again. Don't want to have to run into more zombies. No, I've already lost 1/3 of my total blood. Yep, looks like I've successfully navigated my way around that damn zombie. So, what goodies do we have in here? Check behind the boxes. Nothing. There's some tin cans. Check behind the other boxes. Looks like we've got something over here. Nothing that I want though. You know, I think very high on my list of things that I'd like at the moment is a bigger backpack. Because even though I may not need everything that I can pick up, it's something to trade with. Okay, next stop. Oh, what's this? Haven't seen that weapon before. I suspect that it's the Enfield rifle. And yeah, here's a crossbow. So not an entirely fruitless venture into this barn. Again, for reasons like in previous episodes, when it comes to the crossbow, I'm just not ready to take that gamble yet in that having that limited amount of ammo. And yeah, so this is the Lee Enfield rifle. So I do come across ammo for this, I would say at least as often as I come across ammo for the Winchester, or it certainly feels that way, although this is the first time I've come across the weapon. However, I have heard that it is loud, and the AK was loud, so as tempted as I am to try something different, I learnt my lesson. Loud equals bad, and the Winchester is plenty loud enough, you know. We are definitely running into large quantities of zombies off the back of me using this thing. So for the time being, I'm not going to grab the Enfield. I'll save that maybe for another day. You know, we've traveled long and far to get to where we are at the moment, and it would be such a shame to just mess about with an Enfield and die. But if you guys know better, if you know that the Enfield is a better weapon than the Winchester, then, you know, do say, and next time we can pick it up. So, walk around the corner. He's looking at me. Doesn't seem to be that bothered, but if you look at the eye on the right hand side, there are no lines coming off of it. So, for whatever reason, I'm pretty much invisible to him at the moment, or anything else in this location. So I'm just watching him, seeing where he goes. And now he's headed over there. Part of me is like, well, this building's not open. Nope, can't get in there. What about the one on the right? Let's just double check. Yes. I'm like, oh no, he's in the garden and I want to go in there as well. Okay, right. I'll take a little look at the sign to see if I can confirm where I am, although I have an idea now. I think, no, let's check out this house first. Get out my pistol, because I think if I'm going to have to engage, I want to be as quiet as possible, and it does seem that the Makarov is more silent than the shotgun. So he seems to have decided he wants to go the other side, which suits me just fine. So I let him carry on about his business and go on inside. Definitely going to close the door behind me. So, what do I have in here? Just a Pepsi, it looks like. But I am quite thirsty. So, you know, coming across a Pepsi right now, definitely not a bad thing. So I'm trying to figure out how to get up my inventory, so I say, okay, let's ditch the morphine for a second. Hearing the zombie on my left, getting slightly paranoid as well. And pick the morphine back up. So at this point, I had been filming for about an hour and a half in one session, so I have to stop. However, I did log back in exactly the same location, although it was a slightly different time of day when I you know, got the new hard drive set up and started recording again. So, but something is different, something's wrong, something is bugged. My debug monitor is gone. I'm starving and I'm really thirsty, which isn't abnormal when you've been off the server for a while. But even though I'm eating, nothing changes. So I'm like, okay. I'm not sure what's gone wrong. So I try again. I'm like, okay, hunger, you gonna work now? No. And I'm like, have I got anything to drink? No, I don't have anything to drink anymore, but I'm sure I've already drank. Stupid me. I could have just gone up to that well and filled up the water bottle. Didn't think of it at the time, because I've never used a well before, and like never clocked it, you know, never decided to fill up. So, stupidly, I didn't pick it up. So I decided, well, I guess I'll move on. I do log out, log back in a second, so you may see a slight transition on the screen when that happens, but nothing changes. So the DayZ dev team on Twitter at this time were talking about rolling out server updates to re-enable vehicles. So I kind of think maybe that's what happened. So here I am back again. Having relogged, and yeah, it's still bugged, and I'm actually on a different server now as well, so I'm thinking this must be like a central problem. So I just sort of, you know what, I'm going to carry on playing, and I've never really been in a situation in a play session where I've actually got to the stage where I'm starving in sort of one go, so I just think if I keep to my normal plan of when I come across food and water, eat it and drink it, then I should be alright, even if I can't see that information right now. The other frustrating thing is I have no idea how much noise I'm making and how visible I am. Those meters are broken as well. So all in all, I'm playing with a bit of a handicap at this point. You know, I really, I have a lot of information that I would normally have available gone. But we must soldier on. So well, this is like the following day when I've started to continue playing, so just trying to remember where I am, where I need to head off. Think of it that I took a nap inside that building overnight, and I've just woken up in the morning. So all looks pretty quiet. Not really any zombies around, which you know, great. Somebody could have been through here recently though, so need to be a little cautious. But all in all, it seems very quiet. So I think before I went to bed, I had been in this building on the right. I can't remember if I decided to go in there again. So, taking a look, nah, nothing. Okay. Let the jog commence. So I am on the road at the moment, which isn't the most sensible option, but I'm feeling very weirded out about my experience so far. So I'm just trying to like look for signs of other zombies or other life, and I see nothing. And then I come across a body. You know, feel sorry for the guy, but I was actually really pleased because I have nothing to drink. He had a Winchester, so that's an indication that he had, you know, he's not just spawned or anything. So he's got some M4 rounds, really cool. Not what I need though. And a drink, thank God for that. And he's got some bandages, lots of slugs, loads of slugs for the Winchester. So, you know, this is a really, really good body to come across. So I switch out my empty water bottle for his full water bottle, so now I've got 2 drinks on hand whenever I need them. He also had a box of matches, the first time I have ever come across matches. At a G17, never had this pistol before. Interesting, it's a bigger caliber than what I have currently. But you know, I have absolutely loads of Makarov ammo, and switching out for just a weapon with 1 mag, it doesn't feel good to do that, so not something I'm prepared to do. But I will take as much of his slugs as possible for my shotgun. So, you know, comparing up what he's got, what I've got, is, you know, anything worth compromising on? Nah. So, you know, I feel like it was very, you know, it was very good luck that I came across this guy. It's really helped out. Got a lot more Winchester ammo, some drink. But yeah, you know, I'm not wanting for that much unless it's something extra special. But cool, first time I have ever come across matches. So now I can cook meat. I just need to go into the forest with my hatchet, chop some wood, light the wood. If I get cold or something, then again, brilliant, I can light a fire. So at this point I am running north of Snarf? I'm running north of Staroy. So that sign says sort of, I think a kilometer ahead is a place called Golovo. So I decide that I would like to go to Golovo, as it's on the main road, and I think I'm heading north. So if you guys want to open up your DayZ maps, you can plot my journey. I've been thinking about maybe adding something to the videos where I can see like a map or with some drawings on of kind of where I am going or where I've been. I'm trying to think of the best way to do it, and if it's really a good idea. I kind of feel like it would be, if I start to do that, it makes the point where I actually come across a map in-game far less special. So yeah, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. So taking a breather, looking ahead, looks like there's a little hut on the side of the road. Could have anything in it, maybe a map. So I think yeah, let's stop off there in a second. Hear a noise. No idea what that noise was. Panics me a little bit. Very much out of breath. Stopping for a second, checking my surroundings. Seems pretty clear. Doesn't look like I can go in that shack, which is a shame. I thought I might have something in it. So, although I'm still knackered, I soldier on. Again, the sense of paranoia is starting to set in a little bit. Not seeing anyone for a long time. On my own, running through the forest. I keep thinking I'm seeing things in the distance. So there's the road continuing on, so I'm nowhere near yet, or I don't think I am at least. So taking a little look, it looks quite clear, so I decide to cut over to the other side of the road. And carry on. If I'm impatient and I feel like I need to be getting somewhere sooner, I'll always try and take the higher ground in hope that I'll get to the crest of a hill or something, and it'll give me an indication of how far I've got to go. If I'm wanting to be more stealthily, I'll go on the side of the road, which is lower, so that if somebody comes along, or hey, a car might come down the road, I can really just sort of knuckle down in the sides. But yeah, I'm like, wow, that seems like an awfully long way to run. But if you look closely on the right hand side, there's a little hut, which I've just now noticed. So looking behind me, looks clear, sounds clear. Next objective is to run to that little hut. When you're running these long distances, trying to get to different destinations, I think it's always useful to stop every now and again, catch your breath, take stock of your surroundings. Think about what is the best side of the road to be on. Presumably, if you're trying to track alongside a road, and look for these little outposts and buildings, and bring them into your agenda for the journey so that you can stop off at them along the way. It really does help break it up, because it can be a slog. It does take a good amount of time, as you'll see in this video, to get between areas. But that's what I really tend to love about DayZ, and what I've always enjoyed about ArmA 2 in general, is that you do have to invest time to go through these long runs, and it makes everything have context and meaning. You know, when you tell somebody you've been to Novi Sobor or Stary Sobor, it means something, because that is a long journey, and a journey filled with threat. So checking out the sky, looks like it's getting a little bit more sunny up ahead. To lift my spirits. And you know, I have no idea how thirsty or hungry I am. So slowly now, managing to get towards this little hunting hut thingy. It's different than the one that we came across previously, which overlooked the barn with that guy we tried to rescue. I have seen instances where these have had M16s in, so I'm hopeful. Climb on up. Not looking so good so far, and no, nothing. Shame. Nothing at all. So, a bit disappointed. I catch my breath a little bit, and it's time to climb back down. Weapon back out. Still no sign of another city. And then I stop, and no, actually I'm now not too far away, which is great news. Checking over my left, nobody else running alongside having the same idea. Now, in hindsight, I'm probably a little close to the road, you know, a little bit risky. So yeah, I should have stayed off track a little bit, especially close to town. Because if you're in the town and you're wary of other survivors coming in and you want to stop them, what way are you going to look? You're going to look at that road. So I'm like, I'm just going to see if I can try out my hatchet. You must be in a forest and close to a tree to harvest wood. I'm like, well, maybe I wasn't close enough and shove my face right in, harvest wood. No. So it looks like you really need to be in like a built-up forestry area, like that over there, I suppose, in order to harvest wood. We'll save that for another time, I guess. Looking ahead, looks like a small city, Golovo. Just checking the horizon. Looks clear. There's a sign over there, which confirms that I am where I thought I am. Good old Golovo. Not that I have ever been here before. But yeah, surprisingly, no zombies. I'm a bit flummoxed at this point, you know? It seems very peculiar. But not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, you know. I'll take an easy ride for a little bit, you know. We've had our fair share of tough times. So I want to take a look around the side of the house and the back of the house. Sometimes there are sheds that you can go in, or and have loot inside. In this instance, it doesn't look like there was anything though. So just holding my breath, trying to settle down a little bit, checking my aim, so that should anyone or anything crop up, I'm going to have the best possible shot. Another shed. So I see this little hut over here. It looks like where one of the power lines go to. The side, though, I'm not sure if it's worth going to. But yeah, at this point, I'm just feeling really bemused. You know, I've never really come across a settlement before. Even, I suppose, smaller ones where it's absolutely barren. No zombies, no survivors, nothing. So strange. See a house over there that I can go inside to the left, which is great news. So I figure I'll just hop over the fence. Funny, really. I'm in an area that, you know, at a glance is one of the safest areas that I could possibly come across. And I don't run. Yet when I'm in an area which is surrounded with zombies, definitely a higher risk area than this one, I'm far more willing to run and sprint. I think it's just because I'm panicking. I'm a little bit wanting to hurry the situation along and get out of there. So I'm not as patient as I am here. When really it should be totally the opposite. Here seems very safe, and again, very peculiar. Nothing, not even any loot in here. But yeah, situation seems very safe, and yeah, I'm not sprinting at all. Very strange. So I'm kind of like, what the heck? No zombies, no loot. This is just weird. So I'm thinking, well, I guess I leave then. I guess I, you know, move on to my next destination. But there, you know, there have been people on this server. We've already come across a dead body, so I'm just sort of like not too sure what's going on. And I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe somebody cleared it out and hit the bodies. Trying to get off the road a little bit as I'm feeling quite paranoid now. So, another building up ahead over there. Doesn't look like it's one I can go inside though. Trying to see as much as I can. Road looks clear. Doesn't look like there's any sort of huts on the outline of the tree line. And again, no sign of zombies. Checking the fields. Again, nothing. But this, you know, this seems like a far less significant place than before. You know, it's just a house really in the middle of nowhere. And looking at this sign, it just seems like it's sort of a bus stop, you know, maybe just sort of a little bolt hole in the road, you know, just a little shop or a little service station for people to wait at when they're waiting for their bus. So I take a look in. Doesn't look like something that I can get inside. And so I press on. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience, this one. You know, as a survivor, you know, you can expect that running along, you might come into these situations where it's totally void of any zombies or people. So I'm looking in that hut, and I see something. It's sort of like red. I'm not sure what it is. I'm getting a bit panicked. I don't know if it's somebody who's got some awesome skin. I'm getting closer and I'm like, what is that? Getting down on my knee, I'm like, is that somebody wearing a backpack? Yeah, I'm like mentally I just can't recognize what on earth that is. And there's like a windshield on the floor though, I can tell that much. And then I'm like, is that a bike? What the heck? I'm like, no. This is the first vehicle I have ever come across in this game. But it looks knackered. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to repair it. Why didn't I hold on to all those parts? So annoyed. I get on, can't make it move, and then I realize I'm in the back seat, so I get in the driver's seat, and it starts. I'm like, holy crap, I've just found a bike that starts. Fantastic. And off I go, down the road. I'm just like, this is crazy. I found a bike. I mean, there's hardly any fuel in it, but maybe I can get to maybe I can come across a gas station, you know, the next city, even if it was far away. It's gonna feel like nothing on this, and I'm just flying along. Awesome. So I take my foot off the gas, I'm like, you know, gotta save petrol. Slow down a little bit. You know, I don't want to just fly in there on my bike and be like, hi everyone! So turn the engine off. Time to get out and see if I can just take a little look ahead. I'm just like, still can't get over it. Looking at it, I've got a bike. What the heck? This is, you know, awesome. But would also make me #1 target. And again, the city is empty. No zombies or anything. I don't wonder what that like golf ball looking thing on the right is. Just above, like, well, there, in front of me. Never noticed that before. So I get back on my bike and I decide to make my way over to the barn. I think, you know, I can hide my bike in the barn. Should be relatively safe there. Again, trying not to use the gas where I can and just letting the momentum carry me along. Fuel is a precious thing. Oh, a zombie. Like the first one I've seen in ages. Looks like there is some loot in here as well. So yeah, really, really weird. One zombie in this entire area. I mean, has there been like a pack of people that have come along here and just taken everything? But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this bike at the moment. It looks terrible, you know. There's like an inch between each bullet hole, and the whole thing is covered in bullet holes. It sounds terrible. You know, by all rights, it is a heap of crap. But you know, when you've been surviving for so long, you come across something like this for the first time. It doesn't matter how terrible it looks. It is amazing. So just trying to take a look around. Some wood up there. Take a look up here. Flares. Nothing behind those boxes. Yeah, tin cans and wood. So, I do now have matches, but I don't feel the need to fill my inventory with wood because I can just go and chop down some trees when I need to for wood. So I'm gonna hold on without getting any wood for now. And I don't really have any meat to cook yet either. So at this point I'm thinking, do I try and look around this town, or do I take advantage of this bike and the fact that it seems pretty quiet at the moment while I can and move on to the next area? I'm just trying to think it through really. Listen, seems quiet, can't hear anybody else, so I think, okay, let's move on. It is really tricky to get these things started, like, you really need some momentum to be able to steer them well. And now that I've just flew into this city, I can't decide which way was north. So I'm like, I think it was this way. And then I'm like, if If I'm going into this town, no. So this is Novi Sobor or something. So I think, no, I'm going the wrong. This is north, and so I set about my journey without any real issue with zombies in that town. Despite riding in on a knackered, exhausted bike, they didn't seem bothered. So my fuel is getting lower by the minute. I should have stopped then, but at this point I'm like, no, I won't be long till the next town, but I should have stopped to see if there was fuel in there. There could have been. Little engine that could here. So again, trying to conserve fuel a little bit. Look at that fuel. Oh, it's painfully low. I'm like, come on, come on, come on. Keep going. The problem is when you take your foot off the gas, you really lose control over steering. It's nowhere near as effective, so I kind of feel like I need to keep the pressure going, and the fuel, I can't even see it blinking anymore. And there she goes. And I'm like, no, no, come on, come on. Just trying to, I'm willing it to roll on for as long as possible. Try a little horn as I go. Just like, come on, come on. And I'm thinking, right, what do I do? What do I do? I'm thinking I can hide it in a bush and hopefully run along, you know, and remember where I put it. And I meant to put it in a bush, but I just sort of I couldn't get it there. I've messed up, and well, it is where it is now. I'm hoping nobody else comes along to it who has a fuel tank. So I'm kind of like, I don't know how far away I am now from the next city, and I just hope there's fuel there, and I hope that I can remember where I put it. I'm like, I should be near Starry Sobor, which is one of the bigger cities. I'm certain I must be near, so I'm going over to the road sign. Just try and find out where I am. So I'm looking at this road sign and I'm thinking that's just one word. That can't be right. This should be Starry Sobor. There's nowhere else between where I was and where I was going. How I stayed on the main road the whole way. This doesn't make any sense. And I'm trying to figure it out, and eventually it twigs that there were two roads in Novi Sobor. One which headed west, which would have then branched off slightly north to Starry Sobor, and one which went south to a place called Mogilvica, or Mogilvica, something like that. You can look it up. But I just realized at this point I have used up that precious fuel on that precious bike and gone backwards. And I'm feeling heartbroken at this point. I'm feeling very despondent. I'm just like, well, all I can do is try and find some fuel, and that is my goal now. I've got to get the fuel. I can get back on the bike and undo this damage that I've done to my progress. I'm in a pretty big city, and I'm like, you know what? I can be hopeful. This could work out. But again, it's so quiet. No zombies. This just doesn't make any sense. I'm like, barn. Okay, barn. Barns are good. Barns could have fuel. You know, this is a good thing. Something, look around. Looks clear. Let's move on. So, run over to the barn. Take a look over to the right. Looks clear. No loot. I'm like, Right over here. No loot. I'm like, what the heck? Other end? Oh, maybe there's something there. So I run down to the other end of the barn. Nothing. Not even a tin can. So I'm just trying to look around. I'm like, why is there no zombies here? And then I see something over there. I'm like, what is that? Kind of looks like the back of a helicopter. And I'm getting excited at this point. I'm like, helicopter? Awesome. I didn't know they were back in the game yet. I'm like, yeah, it looks like it's got rotors on it as well. So I'm like, silver lining, you know, brilliant. Maybe I found a helicopter. So I'm just trying to get there as quickly as I can. Coast looks clear. It's I can't see it now because the trees are in the way, but I know it's there. I'm like, I'm sure this wasn't an optical illusion. Come on, helicopter. And the other day I plugged my old joystick back in that I used to use to pilot choppers in ArmA 2, so I know that I can fly this thing properly. Should I get in it? So I'm like, awesome, awesome. Where is it? Okay, I'm sure it was over to the left a bit. Yep, there it is. I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. No, I'm sure those are okay. You know, I'm like, the rotors, the blades look a little bit bent, but maybe it's just the angle, you know, maybe, you know, the airplane's not on, so the rotors are a little bent down. I'm trying to reassure myself that this is a, you know, a fully functioning chopper. So I'm running over. You could tell I've not zoomed in. I should have really, but I'm like, I'm almost scared to look closely at it. So I'm just sort of like, let's just get close, you know, I don't want to spoil it. And then I'm getting close and I'm like, no, this doesn't look right. Something's wrong here. This is broken. I don't even know it's repairable. I don't have anything to repair it, but I go and take a closer look anyway. Yeah, definitely broken. And on fire. And I'm like, maybe there's some loots on it. I'm like, this gun is firing. So I'm trying to look, can't see anybody inside, or can't make out anybody inside. There's blood on the windscreen though. I'm trying to get in, but I can't. So I'm trying to look in, see if I can see anyone. And then I get injured, something's happened. I'm like, whoa, what's happened? I can't stand up, my legs are broken. There must be some fire that I can't see. But yeah, I can no longer stand up. So I'm just like, come on, let's see if is there any loot here I can access. I'm trying to look around, look on the floor. I'm like, can I pick up the minigun? So I'm like, okay, gear. There's some bandages on there, heat packs, but not really anything. I'm like, can I try and fix this broken leg? Try the bandage. No. Oh. That's not gonna work. I don't know why I even tried it, but I was just desperate. I'm like, oh man, how have I broken my legs? This stupid chopper. So I try and crawl away, you know, it sounds like it's on fire. Look in my bag, please. I hope I've got morphine. I hope I've got morphine. Nothing. I have no morphine. So I'm stuck with broken legs. In the middle of a city that has nobody here. And that's it. I'm like, what do I do now? I'm on my own in the middle of nowhere. No transport. No body. Not even a zombie. With broken legs. So I'm like, what can I do? All I can do is crawl back into town and hope and just pray that I come across some morphine or something. And I'm trying to look from afar. I'm trying to scout ahead and think about, right, what building could have morphine in? And I'm at a loss, you know. I'm looking around. I'm like, well, you know, what would you do in this situation? You're a dead man. Unless you can find some morphine. So I'm like, come on, get on my knee. Maybe it bugged a bit. Maybe it's not over. Get a better view at least, if nothing else. Now I'm in the wrong darn place. Nope, I'm not going to be able to move again. You can hear the guy cringing with pain. I'm just desperate at this point. I've got baked beans, lots of ammo, no morphine. I'm like, oh, I could run then. Nope, I've fallen over again. Come on, try again, try again. Nope. Come on, come on. No, nothing. So I kind of feel screwed now. So I'm trying to look over there and decide what building do I want to try and crawl to first. And I'm grateful at the moment that there's no zombies around. Yeah, he's hurting. So yeah, there's not a whole lot that I can do about this. I just got to keep pushing on and hope that somehow I can rectify this. I've never really been in a situation before where I'm stuck with broken legs crawling out into the middle of Timbuktu. You know, my hope is really the size of a grain of sand at this point. Just looking ahead, trying to spot somewhere I can pin my hopes on. And we'll leave it at that until next time, folks. What's going to happen to me? I don't know. We can hope for the best, that maybe there'll be some miracle that I'll come across something. Or more likely, something will come across me. See you next time.